smell from the chicken starting to get?
Yeah. Can you smell it? It's getting.
No, I couldn't smell it, but I just assumed that
it's a little bit
You're
intense.
sitting
at
there
It's
times.
getting
with
kind of
lights.
intense. It's
Yeah.
starting to sweat.
I think it's
Yeah.
probably
the
starting to
chicken's
sweat.
starting to sweat. It
Starting
might
to
be, yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to percolate.
You've worked with so many great directors, and I know yourself just worked with Christopher Nolan. William Friedkin, being on a Billy Friedkin set, like, what is that like? What was it like for you guys as actresses?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's intense.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for sure. You never are going to meet someone like him.
Yeah, he's a character, that's for sure. I mean, one time he could be like so intense, and the other time, right before you're doing a take, he's telling you this story that you're just like, want to laugh your head off, and then it's like, all right, let's go. And you're like, did he just really say that? I mean, he's such a big personality, mixed with such a competent, confident, completely in control director of the lights here and this there, and you know.
You just feel very safe with him because he has such belief in you and belief in everyone he surrounds himself with, down to the DP, the grips, everybody, you know, costume, and then the cast. And so you have this incredible leader on that set of someone that is just so secure with his vision there, and he's going to make it happen. And he's cast it because he believes that you're right for it.
And you want to make it. You want to do your best work. You need to bring your A game to this set. You know, especially with everyone around. You know, he's like, just learn your lines and just know what you're doing, because we didn't really get a lot of takes, 1 or 2 at the most. So you have to kind of be there ready to play.
Was there a lot of rehearsal time before you started shooting, or
had about
did you
a
work
week.
out stuff in set?
We had a week, but it was very specific scenes that really had to be staged because he wanted to do it in one shot.
Yeah.
So we had to just kind of, it was more about knowing where we were going. And
But we would block things. It was
Blocking.
so we would always know our surroundings for the next morning. You know, we'd know where we were going to be, what areas, because you also had to pretend that this was your home, that you grew up in this trailer, that this was your, you know, it's second nature to you. So you are finding a space and being given the opportunity to get to know it like that at the end of every day really helps with the start of a new day. And I think, you know, Billy had such belief in the script, because Tracy Letts, you know, he writes the most extraordinary stories and characters for people to play with, and Billy was so fired up by this story and was so passionate and inspired by it.
Well, it's also such a relief that you don't have to be on a set thinking, oh shit, this isn't really working. Do we change this?
Yeah.
I mean, even if we changed a to a he's like, hey, he's a Pulitzer Prize winner. I don't know why you want to change that one word, you know?
Yeah.
And he was right. You know, so it was nice to
A lot
not
of
have
trust
to.
Yeah.
in people.
That's amazing.
Well, it
Important
allows you
too
to do
in
your
this
best
subject
work.
matter.
Well, you could just think about your acting.
Yeah.
That's really all you had to think about. You had to think like, God, is this scene working? And does, you know, what's he doing? You just did your job, which was kind of great.
The film has a lot of really graphic, violent scenes, some sexual scenes. How was it sort of approaching those scenes? You talked about sort of blocking. Was there a lot of choreography in the fight scenes and some of that stuff?
I got to spend a lot of one-on-one time rehearsing with Matthew, so we got to talk a lot about our relationship and about what was going to be appropriate and inappropriate for us, which was awesome. And ended up just kind of throwing it all away and being like, do whatever.
Yeah.
Do whatever. You know, because you feel comfortable with the people when you're making a subject matter like this, and when you are, or you want to be there for each other, you know? And so I think, especially for me, I'm not a very violent person. I'm not a very angry person. So that was something that Billy talked to me a lot about, and that was very helpful. He was very, I don't know, I felt like all the rehearsal time we had was so important, because it also meant that we felt comfortable with each other, because you just let go. You just let go and you're like, this is what we're making and this is who we're making it with, and we're going to kill it.
You just have to go for it. I mean, we didn't, for the violent scene in the whole end between Matthew and I, we didn't really rehearse it at all. And it's the, you know, one thing I had mentioned to Billy, I said, I don't want to really talk about this scene. I don't want to rehearse it. Let's just, you know, do it. Show us where to be, how do you need to shoot it, and then Matthew and I just kind of went for it. But once again, there's an innate trust and respect between everyone. So, you know, I knew Matthew wasn't going to, you know, actually kill me or choke me to death, you know, and we just had a very unspoken kind of way of working once we went there. But I didn't really want to think about it, to be honest.